Women are not attracted sexually to nice guys. Become a narcissistic douchebag. This video is going to offend a certain type of person, but other people will understand this message and they'll know that what I'm saying is true. So there's a common theme that I see in a lot of my clients. And the theme is that they're extremely nice to women and they think that's going to attract women, but it's not. See, in this video, what I'm going to talk about is what women are actually attracted to. And it's going to greatly improve your dating life. So recently I had a client and I was telling him about some flirting techniques. One of these flirting techniques is called disqualification. So in this technique, you're breaking up with the girl in a playful way. Basically saying something like, "Oh, I'm way out of your league," or "This could never work out." And so a few weeks later, I noticed that he's still talking to women in the same way as before. The way that he flirts with women is by giving them cutesy little compliments. But that's all he does. He just gives them cutesy little compliment repetitively over the course of an interaction, or he won't flirt with the girl at all. And so I told him again, like, man, you need to start doing some disqualification flirting. And he said, well, Joseph, it seems really counterintuitive. You're telling me to playfully push away women, but I want them to come to me. I want them to be attracted to me. This didn't make sense to me. And I said his name, but I said, bro, you have to listen to me. You have to do what I'm telling you to do. Because what you're doing right now, you're being a nice guy, okay? And this is the strategy that a lot of guys have with women. What their strategy is for the guys that are able to actually approach and talk to women is to talk to the girl for as long as possible without alienating her at all. So what do I mean by this? They're not willing to take the risk to flirt with the girl. They're not willing to take the risk to say risky things, to say polarizing things that a guy with a lot of value would say. And their goal when they approach a girl or they talk to a girl is to win the girl over to their side. They need the girl to approve of them. They need the girl's validation so much that they're not willing to take the risk to actually flirt with the girl for fear that if the girl doesn't like the flirting or rejects his flirting, then his ego is going to get bruised. It's going to get hurt. So what being a nice guy is an ego protection mechanism that's disguised under the cloak of moral superiority, or being a moral guy, being a good person. Really, it's ego protection. And I see this in many ways when it comes to guys' approach with women and their interactions with women. So they'll see a girl walking down the street who has some headphones on, and they'll tell me, oh, I don't want to approach that girl because I don't want to bother the girl. She's wearing headphones and she looks like she's busy. And see, that seems like you're being a good person from the outside. It seems like when you say that, like, okay, he doesn't want to bother the girl. He's a good person. Really what it is, it's an ego protection mechanism. It's an excuse to not approach the girl. So this ego protection, it manifests itself in many ways when it comes to women. Like I said, usually it's from a guy who wants to win over the girl onto his team, onto his side. And then they approach women with this sneaky strategy of just trying to, talk about everyday life, talk about normal things. And then over time, they'll sneakily, sneak their way into the girl's heart. But this rarely works. I mean, it's worked in the past. It does work, but it's not effective, especially when you're approaching women. You need to create a man-to-women connection quickly, or she's gonna forget about you and be gone with the wind. So, yeah, you need to actually be willing to flirt with a girl, and so guys think that this is something that only a douchebag would do. They think, oh, I don't want to be a douchebag. I don't want to challenge the girl or tease her in any way. That's mean. That's not me. I'm a good guy. I would never do that. But really, this is exactly what they need to start doing. They need to start being a bit more of what they would consider a narcissistic douchebag. It's not even like you're truly being a narcissistic douchebag, although sometimes I definitely have that attitude when it comes to women because I enjoy it. But it's more like right now there's a spectrum. So on this end of the spectrum, you have a complete narcissistic douchebag who just views himself as, you know, like God essentially. And then on this spectrum, you have a guy who worships at the girl's feet. And oh, I need to tell you guys about this experience I had the other day at the gym. So do you guys know those social experiment shows where they will have two actors go on the street and one of them will pose as a victim of bullying and the other person will pose as the bully? But they'll prank some person. So the bully victim will be like some fat dude sitting on a bench next to the actual victim of the prank who's not in on it. And then the fake actor bully will come in, start making fun of the fat dude to see what the reaction is of the person around them. And you know, oftentimes the victim of the prank will jump in, they'll start defending the actor who's really in on the prank, right? So I thought I was in one of these prank shows the other day because of what I experienced in the gym. I was in one of these little side rooms in the gym. I was doing some like incline bicep curls. As you can see, they're not working out too well, but I'm trying my best. And a guy and a girl walk in. And it's clear to me they're younger, they're in like high school. So one of them's a white girl, one of them's like a Hispanic kind of fat guy, just to be blunt. And this guy was, I thought I was being pranked because this guy was an ultra simp. He was following her around and like helping her out, put on the weights on the machine, you know, spotting her or whatever. And that's fine. That's not being a simp. But what was happening was the girl was openly degrading him and making fun of him. And he was accepting it. So the girl was like, get away from me. Stop talking to me right now. And it wasn't even flirtatious. She was doing this to, you know, get her own jollies off, to make herself feel better. And the dude was standing there taking it. The girl was talking about other guys around him, talking about, oh, I should not text this guy anymore. He's such a douchebag. And the dude was like, yeah, you're right. You should stop texting him. Meanwhile, you know for a fact that this is his strategy to, and he fantasizes about one day getting with this girl. And it was so sad. And I'm just listening to this girl degrade him over and over again. I'm like, God damn it. So that's an ultra nice guy on that end of the spectrum. He was trying to finagle his way in by being at the, you know, the end of her abuse. But then you have the classic nice guy tendencies that we see a lot with guys. They're unwilling to flirt with the girl. They're unwilling to challenge the girl. They're unwilling to lead the girl. They don't even want to touch the girl. They think they're gonna get sued. You'll probably see some guy in the comments of this video like, oh, great way to get thrown in jail by touching a girl. Okay, buddy. Yeah, they're too afraid to grab the girl's hand at the bar and be like, let's go over here and play skee ball. And this is why they don't succeed. I'm not trying to like diss these guys, but this is just reality. And then there's another thing we need to talk about: validation. So then you might see some of these people online, or you might hear talk about how you should stop getting external validation from any sources. This should all just come from within you, bro, like a monk. Like you should generate 100% of your own validation from within. So that's what you'll hear from 90% of people, and these people don't have a clue what they're talking about. They don't actually approach women. They just read blogs online and then regurgitate that information into YouTube videos. So it's impossible to get all your validation from yourself. That's not how the human brain works. Humans are naturally wired to want social acceptance and respect from other people. Even monks who meditate all day long, they're hanging out with other monks. They're engaging in conversation with other monks. They don't get all their validation from sitting in the woods like I am right now and meditating all day. That's just not how our brains are wired. So that's like the guys who are like, I'm giving up on women. It's just not worth. Oh, this is the PSYOP catchphrase that they use now. The Chinese PSYOP is the juice is not worth the squeeze. I need to get off the internet, guys. I hate these fucking people. That's the PSYOP. It's the juice is not worth the squeeze. Like, okay, buddy, you still have a psychological drive to go get women that you're just ignoring right now. And now you're acting like you're happy. So what you should not try to do is this retarded way of thinking like, okay, I don't need any sort of external validation. But it's true, you should not get your validation from women. That's true. Where you should get it from is from family and friends. And so a lot of these nice guys, they don't really have a lot of friends they can hang out with or talk to on a regular basis. So obviously, if I'm not getting any sort of respect, any social acceptance from guys, you know, my mom, my grandma, my aunt, or whoever, then of course when I talk to women, I'm gonna need a lot of validation from that girl. So if you don't have any friends or you have very few friends, I recommend making it a part of your life so that you can be detached from women's validation and you can be that guy who is a monk when he talks to women. Like seriously, when I talk to women, I don't chase a girl's validation at all. It's just not a part of my routine. It's not a part of like my core being. So if you don't have any friends, I recommend reading the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Like learn tricks like, okay, if I say this person's name after they tell me their name, then it makes them like me instantly. You learn to talk about other people's interests. So for example, here's what you can do right now. Go to the gym and then give a guy a compliment on his shirt. Like, man, I like that John Deere shirt you have on right now. That's pretty neat. Ask a guy for a spot and then introduce yourself. Like, hey bro, what's your name? I'm Joseph, good to meet you, bro. I see you here a couple times. I just don't really think we've ever said hi. What you hitting today? You know, you give dudes compliments. You ask dudes for advice in the gym. Do something where you can regularly be around other dudes, man. Stop trying to be Bruce Wayne or Batman. And then your interactions with women are gonna suffer if you have that sort of lone wolf mentality. And I bet most guys are just like, fuck, I don't wanna hear this shit right now. But it's true. It's true. You're a lot better with girls if you have friends. Like, if you want to get better with women, then I'm gonna tell you the truth about how to get better with women. So yeah, stop seeking validation from women, and then you need to move out of your comfort zone. You're being way too nice to women. So you have to actually do the counterintuitive actions of being challenging to women. Do the counterintuitive actions of disqualifying a girl. Like, so for example, I'm talking to a girl the other day in the bar. Classic thing, I say, "What's my name again?" Because I already told her my name. She says, shoot, I forgot your name. So I get up out of the chair, I turn around, I take a couple steps, walking in the other direction. What do I hear behind me? The girl's like, "Come back, don't leave me. I swear to God, I'm not making this up." She's like, "Don't walk away from me," because I challenge her. I show her that I'm not so needy that I'm not willing to flirt with her by pushing her away a little bit. And so when guys have never done this stuff, they don't believe that it's effective. They don't believe that it's an attractive quality, but it is. If I'm the guy who only is nice, only is falling into the girl's worldview, acting like I like whatever girly interest that she's into, then, I mean, obviously the girl's gonna view you as a nice guy who's trying to manipulate her with niceness. So that's the real morally wrong thing to do, is not actually being more of a douchebag, but it's trying to manipulate someone with niceness. And it's gonna blow every single liberal's mind when they see this. They're gonna be like, "Whoa, that blows my mind." So you have to practice getting outside of your comfort zone. Say things to women like, "Oh, I'm so out of your league." That's one of my favorite ones. I learned that from a guy named Julian. And, disqualify the girl. Oh, some other simple techniques you can do is being more disagreeable. Like, practice what it's like to be more disagreeable and watch how people instantly respect you more. When I say disagreeable, I mean standing up for your own opinions. Let's say a girl is like, "Oh yeah, the other day I'm talking to a girl," and she's like, "Oh yeah, I smoke weed." I respond, "I hate people who smoke weed." She's like, "What? I can't believe that." She was taken aback. I say, "I'm just joking. I used to smoke weed." And I'm flirting with the girl. I'm being disagreeable. So disagree with things that the girl says. Say, "Oh no, I don't like classical music. I like rock music." Flirtingly tell the girl that she's lying to you. So say something like, "Yeah, I don't believe you. Why are you lying to me right now? Why are you doing this? I'm gonna get out of here if you keep lying to me." So, do these disagreeable jokes. But guys are so afraid to, because they have the wrong mentality when it comes to how to attract women. They're stuck in this old mentality of laying down the jacket on the puddle so the girl can walk over the jacket like she's some sort of princess. And that's not the right frame to go into a relationship. Like, you need to treat the girl like she's some sort of royalty and you're some lowly peasant. I don't know, I think that only existed in cartoons. I don't think that was ever real. But a lot of guys get their entire behaviors from this media, from movies, cartoons, society, that they need to experience it in person. And if you guys want help with this stuff, and you want to work with me directly, so I can give you the truth and not the societal BS about how you can attract women, then click the link in the description and hop on a call with me. Let's chat and see if it's a good fit. I can help you guys rapidly to transform your results. And yeah, I recommend trying out some of those techniques that I mentioned to be more disagreeable. Definitely recommend being more social with other dudes. And so guys think that it's like not alpha to approach guys. And it sounds kind of funny to say approach guys, but really I mean just like make friends, right? They think it's not alpha. They think the person who ignores other people is the alpha. And I hate using that word alpha, but it's the best way to describe it. Really though, if you're the guy who's initiating a friendship, you are the alpha. In that moment at least. You're the one who is socially confident to do so, and he has enough joy in his life that he can give it away to other people. So really if you're viewing yourself as the silent alpha, I mean, guys are gonna hate me when I put out this video, but you're not. It feels very good. You know, join a charity, do a charity. That'll make you feel like a beast. If that's how you want to feel, giving back to your community, that'll make you feel validated rather than getting it from the girl. So that's all for this video, guys. Just try to get outside of your comfort zone and do these things. You'll feel, it's a freeing feeling. It's beautiful. It's invigorating. Make sure you book a call with me. Let's have a chat. I'll see you guys in the next video though. That's all I have for today.